Hello everyone. So in this session we will discuss about the contiguous memory allocation. So what do you mean by contiguous? Contiguous means continuous memory allocation. So here in your system the main memory must accommodate both the operating system as well as the various user processes. The main memory will be divided into two partition. So in that partition, one part it is used to store the operating system and another one will be used for the user processes. Here the traditional method to store both the information is contiguous memory allocation. Contiguous memory allocation. Here in the contiguous memory allocation system need to take some measures to protect the processes from the alteration by the external user. How to access or store the particular data in memory? Here we are using one method for memory mapping and memory protection. We are using reallocation or base register to protect the user processes from each other and from changing the operating system code and data. Here in this example we are using two important register. One is limit register and the relocation register. One is limit register and another one is relocation register. Relocation register, it is also called as base register. So this relocation register, it will contain the value of smallest physical address, and the limit register, it will contain the range of the logical address or space given for the processes, right? So first the CPU will generate the logical address. That logical address will be compared with the limit register value. Always the logical address is less than the limit register value. Then this condition is true. We add this logical address plus the base register or relocation register value, and we will produce the physical address. Then we will get the particular portion or that particular point where exactly your process will reside in the main memory. If the logical address is not less than the limit register, that is nothing but this condition is false. That means it is a error, addressing error. Here the memory management unit will help us to map the logical address dynamically. Clear? So to protect and map the memory, here we are using two types of register. One is limit register and the another one is relocation or base register, right? So your next topic is memory allocation. So here we have different methods to partition the memory to store the different processes. One of the simplest method here we are using it as the fixed partition method. In the fixed partition method, we will be divide the memory into several fixed partition. Take this example. Here we have 5 partition in this memory. This is your main memory. Here we have 5 partition. So the first block contain 100K space and up to 100 KB you can store data here. In the same way 25K, 50K and 50K, right? Here we are fixing the block size, right? Here we are fixing the block size. In this example, say for example program 1, in the example program 1, it will occupy the first block. Program 1 will occupy the first block, but here the block size is 100 KB, but this program 1 size is only 60 KB. In the fixed partition method, we cannot use the remaining 40 KB space because here the size of the block is fixed and the whole block will be dedicated to program 1. So this is the disadvantage. To overcome this disadvantage, we are go with the second method, called the multi-partition method. Here we divide the initially the whole memory, all memory is available for the user processors. That whole or all memory, it is called as whole. The whole memory, it is called it as a whole, right? Say we have three processors initially. One is process 5, process 8 and process 2, right? We divide this whole into, this is the whole. We divide this whole into three parts, one for process 5 and another for process 8 and another one for process 2, right? If the process 8 finishes its execution and exit from the processor, that will be swapped out to the secondary storage device. Now we get the free space. For other processes. Next, process 9 want to execute, then that will be copied to main memory. So how? Say for example, free whole size is 100 KB. This whole size is 100 KB, but the process 9 size is only 30 KB. In that case, that 100 KB space is split into 30 and 70 KB partition and store the process 9 in 30 KB space, right? Store the process 9 in 30 KB space. We have remaining 70 KB, right? Now process 10 enter into the main memory. The process 10 enter into the main memory. In that case, again the process 10 size is 30 KB. Again we divide this 70 KB into 30, 40, right? And the process 10 will be stored in the 30 KB space, right? Understood? Yes. Say we have set of holes or search to determine which hole is best to allocate for the processes. This is called the dynamic storage allocation problem. Here we are following three strategies to select a free hole. So in this, first strategy is first fit. So in this algorithm, scans memory from beginning and select the first available block that is large enough to hold the processes. Clear? Here we are searching from the beginning and select the first available block that is large enough to hold that processes. This is the first method. The second one is best fit algorithm. Here it chooses the hole that is closest in size to the request processor. That means it allocates the smallest hole that is big enough to hold the processors. So in the first fit method, we are choosing the first available block. In the best fit method, we are selecting the smallest hole that is enough to hold that processors. And the third one is a worst fit algorithm. Here it allocates or it will search the largest hole to the processor's request, right? This is here in this three example, in this three method, first fit and best fit, it is better than the worst fit method. So next we take up the simple example to understand this first fit, best fit and the worst fit method. First, here we have memory partition with the size 100K, 500K, 200K, 300K and the 600K. Totally we have 5 memory partition. So in that we need to fit 4 processors, that to size 212K, 417K, 112K and 426K, right? In the first fit method, first we need to search from the beginning and find out the first block that will be what is the fit enough to store that processes, right? Here this is so 212K, it is the first process and we need to compare this with the first partition. Yes, it is 100k. Can you fit this 212k in this 100k space? No, right? Next we go with the second one, 500k. Yes, 500k. Can you store this 212k in the 500k space? Exactly, you can store it, right? So for that reason 212k is put in the 500k partition, 500k space. Now in the multi-partition method, you can divide this 500k into two parts, right? One to fit 212k and the remaining is 176k. Sorry, 288k. 288k, right? So here the 212k is put in the 500k partition and the next partition is 100k. This is already used, so remaining is 288k and 200k, 300k and 600k. Take the next one. 417k. Now compare this with this. Can you store this? No. Next is 288k. Can you store here? No. Next 200k. Can you store here? No. Next here 300. No. But 600, yes, you can store 417k in the 600k space. Yes, store the 417 in the 600k space. Now the remaining is 183k. Now the new partition is available hole is 100k, 288k, 200k, 300k and here remaining is 183k, right? Take the next one, 112k, right? Now compare here. Can you store here? No. But here 288, yes, you can store, right? Now 112k is put in 288k partition and now this 288k will be divided into two parts, one to store 112k process and the remaining is 176k, right? Now 100k, here is 176k and the next one is 200k, next is 300k and the last one is 183k, right? This is the available space. Next 426k. Now again compare this with this. Can you store here 100k? No. Here the remaining is 176. Can you store here? No. Here? No. Here? No. Here? No. So here the 426k process need to wait until the memory is free, right? This is the first fit method. The next method is best fit method. In the best fit method, we need to search the smallest space, smallest hole that is big enough to hold the processes, right? Here first we search this 112k with this and this 600k, right? So here 300k is the smallest one. It can fit into this 212k, right? So for that reason this 212k is put in the 300k partition. Again this 300k will be split into two parts, one to store this and the remaining part is for another processes, right? In a similar way 417k, 417. Now again compare this and this. So this is the big enough to store this 570k, right? So here, sorry, not 600, 500, right? 417k can be fit into 500k. So 417k process is put in the 500k partition. In the similar way 112k is put in the 200k partition and 426 and the last one is put in the 600k partition. Here we are taking the smallest hole, right? But in the worst fit algorithm, in the worst fit method, we are taking the largest hole to fit the processes, right? For this 112K, which is the largest block here, it is 600. So here 212K is put in the 600K partition. In the similar way, the 600K minus 212, we get 388K partition, right? This 600K will be divided into two parts in the multi-partition method, right? So now the new list is 100K, 500K, 200K, 300K and 388K. The similar way 517 is put in the 500K partition. 112K is put in the 388K partition. This is the large enough, right? Again here 426 must wait, right? So in this example, the best fit method is the best compared to first and the worst fit method, right? So in all these three methods, it will be suffer from the fragmentation problem. What do you mean by fragmentation? Fragmentation means memory fragmentation is nothing but the space is free in the memory, but that cannot be used by the another processes. In the previous example, here see, yes, this 112K is in this example also. See, we have 170K and 183K space is available in your memory, but that cannot be used by the that cannot be used to store the 426K process, right? So that is called the fragmentation. In the fragmentation, we have two types. One is external fragmentation and another one is the internal fragmentation, right? What do you mean by external fragmentation? What do you mean by internal fragmentation? Say in this example, see here, this is called internal fragmentation. Here this space is allocated for the process 1 and this much of space is allocated for the process 2. But the process 1 uses only this much amount of data, but the remaining part is free. This whole block will be allocated for process 1 and in this block only this much of memory will be used by that process 1 and the remaining is unused. That unused space cannot be used by the other processes. That is called internal fragmentation. Within the block we have free space that cannot be used by the other processes, then it is called internal fragmentation within the block, right? In the similar way, external fragmentation means, see, this much amount of space will be allocated for the process 1 and this much amount of space will be allocated for the process 2. Here in between these two space we have this much amount of space is available, but this cannot be used by the other processes. This is not big enough to fit that processes. It is called external fragmentation, right? So in both internal and external fragmentation, almost the 0.5 blocks it is lost, right? And that means in the n block allocated, in that 0.5 n blocks lost to fragmentation, right? This much of blocks will be wasted. This is called as 50% rule, right? So here yes, you can avoid. So internal fragmentation, it is very simple and you can neglect it, but external fragmentation we need to overcome this. How? We have three methods. So in that, the first solution or first method to overcome this disadvantage is compaction. So compaction means, here say for example, here we have three processes, process 1, process 3 and process 5, and in between these two processes we have free spaces, right? So in the compaction method, In the compaction method, we move all the free memory together to form a large block. That means we need to reallocate the processes into one group. In this example, this process 3 and process 5, it will be reallocated and group the unused space in a one block, right? Yes, you can reallocate or readdress the processes only during in the execution time. Address binding is done in the execution time, then there is no problem to adopt this compaction method. But in the another two method, we cannot use this. So we have another solution to overcome the external fragmentation, to avoid the external fragmentation problem. That is, in this we are using contiguous memory allocation, right? We can use the non-contiguous memory allocation. By using this non-contiguous memory allocation, we can avoid the external fragmentation. So in the next session, we will discuss about the non-contiguous memory allocation technique. Here we have two important techniques. One is paging and the segmentation. I hope you understand all the topics. Thank you.